Hello, this is Teja Gerken with Peghead Nation, and today I'm here with Martin's new D-1 Authentic 1931. This is a cool guitar that's modeled after the very first dreadnought that Martin brought out under its own name in 1931. Prior to this guitar, Martin had built similar instruments with the same size body, the 12 fret neck, and a slotted headstock, etc., for the D-1 company. But it wasn't until 1931 that the company came out with its own dreadnought model that was branded as a Martin guitar. And so this is a faithful reproduction of that particular instrument. Martin's Authentic series is the company's most vintage accurate line of instruments. So it makes sense that this guitar would be part of that line. We've demoed a few other Authentic series instruments here at Peghead Nation in the past, and they're always very impressive guitars, and this one is no exception. Authentic series instruments are made in a separate part of the factory where they get a lot of extra attention, and they use a few processes that are different from standard Martin guitars. It's complete hide glue construction, for example, which takes a lot more time to build. The choice of materials, of course, is really top-notch. They use really only the best that they have for these kind of instruments. In this case, the guitar has an Adirondack spruce top. It has genuine mahogany back and sides, a mahogany neck. And one thing that's unusual, it has Brazilian rosewood for its fingerboard, bridge, the head plate, and a few other small parts, such as the end graft over here in the back. So you can probably tell just by looking at the guitar that it stays true to Martin's original dreadnought dimensions. It's got the original 12 fret neck and body design that they had before the dreadnought got switched to the 14 fret neck in, I believe, 1934. So the body is slightly longer than the more modern dreadnought body would be. The guitar has the 25.4-inch scale that's typical of most dreadnoughts, and just like the originals would have had, it has a very wide neck. It's 1 7/8 inches at the nut, and wide string spacing at the saddle. It's 2 3/8 at the saddle. So it gives you a lot of room with a picking hand to play. I find it quite comfortable for playing fingerstyle. Flat pickers will probably have to get used to it a little bit, but if you've been looking for a guitar with wide string spacing, this is really a great one to choose because it has that, and it really sounds great. And once you get used to it, plays great in that way. It just gives you a little bit more room to move. The neck was also modeled after an original 1931 dreadnought. It's got a slight V shape, not too deep. I've played V shapes that were deeper than this. And overall, comfortable to play, though definitely in the more vintage shape department than most contemporary guitars would be. Of course, the guitar has the slotted headstock, and it's fitted with open gear tuning machines. In this case, they're slightly aged looking, including the tuners that are a little bit yellowed rather than the brand new white kind of looking button. So it's a nice look that is a perfect match for the overall vintage appearance of the guitar. In terms of appointments, the guitar is very plain. It's a little bit like an 18 style might be. No binding on the fingerboard. Very plain rosette with just black and white rings. Same with the purfling. It's a single white strip right here and black binding on the body. So kind of austere looking, but really highlights the materials that are used on the guitar, and craftsmanship and fit and finish and everything is of course first rate on an Authentic series instrument. Besides using hide glue in the construction of the guitar, the instrument also uses the vintage gloss finish that Martin has recently come out with, which is a thinner finish than Martin's standard finish. It really allows the wood to vibrate freely. I think it also looks great, and it's overall the highest quality finish that Martin offers. You heard me play the guitar a little bit in drop D tuning, playing fingerstyle on this in the intro to this. Let's also hear Scott Nygaard play the guitar with a flat pick a little bit. So there's some beautiful playing by Scott Nygaard. I should say that this guitar really has a huge dynamic range, whether you're playing it fingerstyle or flat picking. It has a lot of power reserves. If you dig in hard, it'll get louder. But it also sounds great sort of at the lower spectrum of the dynamic range. And I mentioned before that I thought it worked really well for playing fingerstyles. I'm going to play a little bit more, this time in a low C tuning. So I've got this, it's a C, G, C, G, C, D tuning right here. And I've always found that 12-fret dreadnoughts can make great fingerstyle guitars, particularly when they're built fairly lightly like this one is. And I should say that this guitar for dreadnought is incredibly lightweight. It's one of the lightest dreadnoughts I've ever felt. And so it's got a great response, and of course the string spacing dimensions, they're almost like a classical guitar. So a lot of room to move, both on the right hand for picking and the left hand for difficult techniques. So let me play it a little bit more to end this video for you, playing a little bit of the Irish shebig shemore on this guitar. And I hope you come back and visit us here at Peghead Nation for more gear demos. And it's been a pleasure to demo this Martin D-1 Authentic 1931 for you.